Woo! Yeah, adjusted real quick. I was gonna tell him to do it.
Just a big person. Just get me all in there.
Yeah, it's gonna fall. No shit, one more time. Don't leave. Yeah, one more. Yeah, good. When you sit, you guys are huge. You guys big dudes. Fuck. Yeah, I gotta sit taller than you guys. Welcome to another episode of People's Mic. I am Jimmy Peoples. Yeah. We haven't talked about that. We talked about it all.
We got
podcast. Introduce yourself. What'd you say? Tommy Danger's here. Tommy Danger's here. That's how you say it.
I'm Jordan Rosengard, stand-up comedian.
I am Sadra Azizi.
You've gotten better since you've
been doing it for a
That's my dad. My dad. I was thinking last night that I learned a lot of shitty lessons from. Yeah, close that. He taught me lessons out of bad situations. What was I just about to say? Fucking
I don't know.
Fuck! I lost my thought.
I can't help you here, man.
Fuck!
Is your dad still around?
Yeah, he's in Georgia somewhere.
Somewhere.
He's somewhere. We don't know something. But.
You just life lesson.
I said bullshitting skills.
That's a dad. Don't bullshit a bullshitter was one of my favorite. Like when he first said it to me, and I was like 5 or 6. I'm like, what does that mean? And then not realizing what kind of life he had or what he'd been through to go up to that moment.
Right.
And then you grow into it and be like, oh, I get it.
Right.
When parents say like certain phrases that they say when you're a kid, and you're like, I don't even know what you're fucking talking about.
Right, if he's saying don't bullshit a bullshitter, how full of shit was he?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And then now all the shit that was like, oh, he did this to my, and he did that, and he was like, he was the king of bullshitting. But then I have become like he hasn't. He rose to a level, but I have like the job of a child is to either honor thy father and mother, or destroy their lives. So,
right. It is amazing that we always take the worst aspects of our parents.
yeah. Which is dope. What do you eat?
I did. I made it in a crock pot. I just discovered the crock pot. You guys know crock pots?
I know how. Yeah, I know crock pot.
I don't cook, so.
Yeah, no, I think that's like being. I think.
It's not cooking.
It really is. It's. I'm the laziest person in the world, so if I was able to do this shit, that means that it's really easy. So, crock pot's a slow cooker. You throw all the shit in there. You put it on like medium, and you wait 6 hours. When you come home, everything's just done.
Yes,
it makes like a stew.
So what if you forget? You get
your house is on
9
fire.
hours.
I hate leaving shit on.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm for the whole project's on fire. Not project.
Well, my servant usually turns it on.
He was like, I can relate. He was like, yeah, mine too. All 10 of them.
Well,
God damn, wanted to agree with
you. Because yesterday I was angry that because I hate eating out. But I don't like carrying my food with me. Like I don't carry snacks and shit.
Yeah.
And I was like, how do you eat in this city as a comic and as a fitness guy?
Yeah, you take all your shit with you, honestly.
Without spending an arm and a leg.
Well, before I was doing all this meal prep stuff, I would honestly be ordering Seamless and ordering like the healthy versions of what I would make.
I need a black guy.
I know.
I need a black guy who learns how to. He needs to be thrifty. Like,
yeah.
So I ordered Seamless. I didn't.
There was a bunch of KFC buckets up.
I didn't catch that after. If you weren't here, I would have caught that. I was like, I'm just eating KFC. But then I was like, oh, that's a black joke. God damn. They're going to find this on Twitter.
Oh, shit.
They're like, yeah, remember when Jordan made them?
You can't fire me. I'm unemployed. It's going to be real easy. It's going to be real easy to destroy my career. But in all seriousness, I do meal prep, and I'll bring this really, really douchey little bag that's made from 6-pack bags. They don't pay me, so whatever. But it keeps everything nice and cool, and I bring it around. And I'll eat chicken cold, it's fine.
Yeah.
But that's the real way to do it. Is you gotta have it on you, 'cause especially like days like today where it's snowing and shit, and you don't know when you're gonna be able to get out. And then any moment I have, you see what I'm doing right now, just to be able to down some food.
Yeah.
It's good because what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna end up like, adding up all the cravings throughout the day, and then when you get home, you just gonna eat the worst shit. So that's what I was doing. That's kind of what I do now. But yeah, I mean, it's easier now that it's part of my daily routine. But it's not like oh, how do you do that? It's like I don't know. It's just it's how you do it.
Program.
And it's the only thing I do. I don't work. I barely work. I mean, I don't have a life.
Yeah.
It's like my life consists of lifting weights, telling a couple jokes, and eating food. It's a couple of things I would do.
You're a breath of fresh air because that's I love hearing shit like that. It's like this is my life. I just fucking lift in there. What?
Yeah, no, it's weird though because I started off like when I was a kid. Like if I ever thought I'd be that dude, I mean, if I looked at myself as a kid, like, who the fuck is this douchebag?
Yeah.
Because I was a nerdy kid. I love comic books and and all that stuff and superhero dudes. I'm like, I gotta look like that. So over time, I was like, all right, I'm gonna get rid of this fat belly because I was a fat kid.
I never wanted to be the I like the idea of Superman, but I never wanted to be the biggest guy. I like Daredevil. I like the guys that are still agile and that Well,
also Daredevil has like something to overcome. Like he's blind and like
he has disability.
Right.
You gotta have struggle.
You have struggle.
Superman's got kryptonite, but again, the talent.
Hey, I hope he still has.
You won't even have to use his face. Just
they're gonna have so many writing room. Like, we need to go back and rewrite this. So many Black Superman. So do you work out?
I do.
Fitness? You're pretty solid.
I work out 3 times.
See his body jerking? Like,
I got the same
when you hear some shit and you reject it,
I got the
he couldn't
same
even help it. He was like, his muscles what?
But, yeah, Mondays I'll do
Is that sex? What
chest.
is happening?
No, not even. Just Mondays
For 6 minutes.
chest and back. Tuesdays buys and tries. And Wednesdays, if I feel like it, a little bit of legs, a little bit of shoulders.
Nice. That's good that you got
That's it. 6 minutes
6
a day,
minutes.
just like 2 sets of each until like I'm kind of sweating, and then that's it.
What would you? I love when you catch me when I'm just spaced out.
Yeah, because you're still rejecting it. He's like,
Look, I'm a true comic. I don't listen to other people. Okay.
that's the mom's nipples bit. Yeah.
No, what's really amazing though, like if I, not to say that you're starting off like you're in amazing shape, but like if I were to like, if that was what I was doing when I first started off, where I looked like this, I had that kind of genetics, like I'd probably be fucking Mr. Olympia right now because like, dude, like 10 years of training, lifting, taking everything under the sun, like to get ahead, and then it's like, you look pretty damn good, but there are guys who literally come out of the womb. And like my brother, for instance, I mean, we should have the same genetics, but he doesn't go to the gym and he's ripped. He doesn't eat anything, but like he's not big, but he's got 6-pack, just well defined, like just like insertions. Like you look at this dude, you're like, if you put on some muscle, like a lot of fucking muscle, you can win a competition.
Here's my issue with it though, is like, at least for me, I mean, you had the whole superhero idol to aspire to. For me, I never had that. For me, it was just like academics.
Okay.
And then I was like, oh, I gotta work out to get chicks. But then I realized like I'm not getting any chicks by being jacked. So I was like, fuck this shit, man. What am I doing this for? Like I just never. I do it literally as a chore. It is not fun for me. I hate working out. If I didn't have to do it ever again, I would. I only do it for just health and just a chore reason.
Why do you feel like chicks weren't like? Because I find the same thing. But why do you think they don't respond so well? Like, when you're more confident and big, how can you feel like it's a turn off for them?
I wouldn't say it's a turn off. I just noticed that whether I had put on 15 pounds of muscle or I hadn't worked out in a while, like my success rate was literally the same.
Same, right?
Yeah,
it's amazing. 20 pounds ago, I was the same amount of girls as now. Like, and I think there is a diminishing returns because I'm trying to compete next year. So as I get closer to that size, it's actually becomes more of a turn off because they'll see my photos, 2 really unattractive things: comic and bodybuilder, and because they just imagine like, all right, all the stereotypes, douchebag, dumb. That's right. But like all these things. So I do think that there is diminishing returns. But you're right. Like I think girls focus on stupid things like personality and.
They like it when you're good.
Into like guys with big muscles,
Yeah.
and that's what they love. And then there's
all the other women who like will take that if that's or like if they're interested in that, but they don't really. It's not about the muscles. Whereas like there's the women out there who are fat women. They're like, wow, we love fat women, you know. But then it's like,
right.
Not everybody loves fat women, you know.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the girls who generally like what happened.
That's it. We got a woman in the room now.
Oh, that's not a woman. Oh, wow.
It's one of those things. That was one of those things I was hoping Jimmy didn't point out, but he did.
I had to.
I was like, can we let this go?
You look like a woman. I mean,
I wonder why more queer people don't do comedy.
Fuck!
Well,
Fuck Doug up.
Yeah.
Fucking Doug. God damn it.
but anyway, but like the thing is, like a lot of the women or people in general who are like attracted to guys who are, I just don't like them because like I don't want to date someone who's a bodybuilder because I want a normal person. I'm like, I'm doing the weird thing. Like you don't have to do that shit too. You know?
Opposites attract.
You know?
Really?
Yeah. Exactly.
I want to be two lions in the gym.
Really?
I'm getting jealous when I see couples in the gym and we ain't got to work out the whole time together. But come check in with me and then do your own thing and then come show off. Make sure you know.
I don't know. To bring my girl to the gym with me so she can see other guys who are potentially in better shape. I don't know. I mean, it's just.
Sorry, you gotta be the hardest worker.
I wanted to bring. I wanted to bring.
I drag my knuckles when I come to the gym. I come in, go to the deadlifts. And then,
And you like go home, you both talk about what you cooked and ate and lifted that day. It's like I just kill myself. You know.
I don't know.
Be like, how much did you guys today?
And maybe and from the outside looking in, I think that's what I want. But then when it happens, I'll be like, maybe I don't want this.
Right.
I like when they mirror hustle too. When I'm working out and then they're like, you can see them in the mirror and they're trying not to look.
I know, dude. You know how you want to go on a date?
Yeah.
Do you know how relieving it is to hear about like office politics from a girl? Like when I'm on a date, I'm like, wow, you're in an office. It's a normal life. Like you do things that I don't. Like if you're like deadlifted, get the fuck away from me. I hear this all day long. I don't want to hear this shit. I want to hear.
I can see you getting bored of that.
Yeah.
I'm talking office shit.
True, but different.
When you were single, you didn't like hot doctors?
I didn't. So don't let my girlfriend throw you up. Like I dated ugly women. I shouldn't even say date. Like she's my first girlfriend. Like I can't remember how many years, but like I don't get pretty women.
Things.
I'm just telling you the truth.
Like you're a crush.
And that was before the mustache.
They don't know
that
you
was
don't
before
crush.
the crazy hair.
They don't know you don't crush.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying I wasn't crushing it. I'm just saying
all
it wasn't with like
you need
pretty
is
women.
one home run to be a home runner.
True.
Right?
But like he was saying, he's like,
I don't know if that
he's like, oh, I wanted to, just like work out and fucking lose. Oh, like diminishing returns, blah blah blah. I was noticing the same thing with like, or how women are interested in personalities. It's like it's true. It's like it didn't matter pre-doctor, post-doctor. Like I didn't notice any change in like success rate. I guess I don't know. It just was.
Again, we look at different things, man. It's when you go on a date with somebody, right? Like, yeah, the visual thing, that's the first thing you know, sure, but that goes away real fucking quick, you know? Someone opens their mouth and it's just a bunch of stupidity coming out. That thing goes down real fast. You know? So I mean, whatever.
But even just like first impression, so you take a Tinder profile, right? Like I would expect my match rate to be way higher. Just on paper, I sound like a catch. Not ugly, not disgusting looking, and great career, right? So that alone, I should be getting, in my opinion, a lot higher success rate.
They judge your pictures.
I guess, because other than that, because I would understand if they got to know me, like, all right, this guy's fucking weird, but I don't want to talk to him. But like, not even getting the first impression out the way, I was like, what am I doing wrong?
I had somebody revamp my pictures and then my success rate. Fucking.
Wait, was this a comic that did your picture?
No, so I'm a personal trainer now. Like, I wouldn't.
No, I know. There's a one comic who like took a bunch of pictures of you, and they're really good. So I was wondering if that was.
And that's the saturation.
No,
Diane?
they just changed. Who? No. Hold up. After that, she just went in. She was like, hey, change this.
Is your
Put this
Photoshop?
first. No Photoshop. Just regular pictures, just the action pictures. You put the right ones first, and then she told me which ones to put, and then the girls were like, yeah, bang, 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 bang. Fucking
It's not even the quality of the photo. Sometimes as guys we're thinking like, yeah, this Jack's photo, I'm flexing the girl, that's gonna get the girls.
They were like, nope.
Yeah.
No, they want to see you with a dog. They want to see
I had a picture
the
of
dog.
me with a penguin. I had a picture of me with some friends.
I get-
some athletic pictures.
I
Not your
used to,
dog,
I used
not
to
your
get,
dog.
I used to, I'm taping this. I used to get so much sympathy pussy off of just saying my dog died. A year ago, he died at the end of last year. ASPCA truck before the Niagara mic on Saturday. And sometimes I go there and hold the dogs, try to take pictures. I was like, that is a landmine. Like they're not utilizing. There should be a line of guys outside of that truck just holding dogs up.
Not that
I'm telling you, go to the ASPCA. One picture, your first picture, hold a dog. Like, yeah, me and my buddy.
I never had a dog, so I can't even.
Really?
I'm gonna try that bit again today.
I said something.
Hold on.
I don't know how to. What the fuck did I say? I said I wanted to make 30. I wanted to make 30 grand a month with this podcast. That's a goal
Okay.
with this. But then I
How you doing?
felt like Sandra was laughing at me. Like I was
What?
walking home, I was like, I wonder how much he makes a month. and is that a reasonable number?
I mean, you would have to pull crazy viewers to get.
That's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
That's
I know it
360
is.
grand a year.
I know. Don't do the math. I know what I want.
Because I have just under 11,000 YouTube subscribers. My podcast episodes haven't done great, but even just that, even if I did monetize,
So I like to make 30 grand a year. Let's start with that. Still waiting for that.
No, I need a month. I need a month. It's it'll come. Ooh, but
yeah, I mean, if you keep at it, consistency, the
Absolutely.
sponsors,
yes,
other
it's
shit.
fine. It's come. I need to. I know. I upgrade little things. I want to get good at doing, making it shitty, and then flip it, and make it better. You know,
Yeah.
hit the production. It's gonna get. You know,
A lot of CG and stuff. Yeah, I get it.
all of that. What are you watching right now?
Netflix. I just finished the Ted Bundy 3-part documentary.
Did we talk about that the other day?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What about you? What are you watching?
I tried to watch Ocean's 8 4 times.
Is that the one with all the girls?
Yeah, I was in it for Aquafina. I can't get into it. I really wanted to talk about it, but I was like, this is dumb. Yeah, I mean, this is.
It's always an easy thing to go after, like, oh, why did they have to make this version all women? But the truth is, like, as an idea itself, I think that could be interesting for some like films. Like, let's do the female version of this.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm not gonna hate on it just on, but like, they always fuck it up.
What if they made a female version of 300? Would you go see it?
It depends what's done well, man. Like, honestly, like, it would have to be accurate for that time, or like, or
The,
the thing is,
300 women, and just like,
Well, they couldn't even get 11 women. 11, so it's gonna be like instead of 3.
Like Alien,
Terminator 2.
Terminator 2. Like, there's a way to do it. It's just
What's funny is that when there wasn't pressure in Hollywood to do it, they did it better.
Yeah.
Like in the 80s, like you have such amazing women characters and like badass fucking women, but like no one was really calling for it. But when they came with it, like Sarah Connor, nobody forget, and like no one says that's a great woman character. They're just like, that's a fucking badass character.
Yeah.
Like as a dude, I would be that chick. Like that's
I just saw Alita too. Alita was dope.
was it good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Until the end,
That's also James
you
Cameron,
You ever James Cameron?
He produced it, yeah.
Was that James Cameron? Yeah, James Cameron. Robert
Rodriguez, yeah, he directed it, yeah.
They get to they do this thing where it feels like they ran out of movie, and then they're like, hey, no, we're making a sequel, but it felt like they didn't know where they were going.
They want to like leave it open so that.
Yeah, it felt. I think that's what most sequels are. Is like we don't know how to end this movie. So
or hey, we gotta cash in.
yeah, you didn't get the head bad guy. What are you doing? You
Yeah.
just it kind of left you hanging, and she's just skating around, mourning her. You know,
Was there an after credit scene like Marvel movies?
I didn't wait. I was like, I'm done.
Right.
And I bootlegged it, so I don't get the.
Your screener, yeah. Cool, cool.
It's just this robot running around trying to fuck. And I feel like they're. And this is the way I watch movies. They're trying to desensitize us to a certain subject.
Yeah.
So now it's just fucking sex robots. I feel like that's because everything she was interested in, she like moaned about it. She was like, "Oh, I want to kill a bunch of people." She's like, I was like, "Why is she moaning right now?" Like, we could watch a movie. And then she was looking for a boyfriend, and then no humans wanted to fuck her. And then she found a boyfriend. And she was like, "Can you get a robot fall in love with a human?" And Dad was like, "Well, does a robot love a human?" It's some bullshit.
Right.
She trying to fuck, and her. I'm telling you, the whole movie.
Were they making like an analogy to like race and stuff like that? Is that where they're
No, just fucking robots. And,
Okay.
yeah, she had a sexy. She because they thought she was a kid at first, so they gave her a kid body, and then she got a new body.
Yeah.
And the body changed to her mind, so she had tits and like perfect '70s
I
boobs.
mean, you're selling this to me.
Yep. And I'll watch it again. I mean, I'm gonna go see it again anyway.
Hollywood should have you review every fucking movie because everyone got to see it. Yeah, so there are tits in there.
Yeah, it's tits and it's sexy. Yeah, big
Like, what were you talking about?
Big
Star
ass
Wars three.
cyborg fucking robot. It's a big movie. That's gonna be my review. Would I go see it on the date on Friday? No. Would I just pay $5 and try to see it for free? Yes.
Yeah, I hear
I
that.
think movies are the worst thing I did.
What?
Hey, meet you. Would you like to stare this way?
Yeah,
for 2 hours
and not
talk
speak to me. I
each
just
other?
want your.
Interesting.
I don't wanna.
I think a better first date idea, stand-up comedy night, because you get to see what they laugh at. You get to know them a lot better.
That's usually second.
If you're not a comedian, that
Yeah,
could
we-
be a
we-
thing, but
Yeah.
that's not.
I see how cool she is. What's on my level cool is if she actually comes to the movie on Tuesday. Some girls are like, you know, like, yeah, movies are weird, and then but some girls are like, we'll talk all the way up to it, and it feels like we know each other, and then we'll go to movies and have fun.
Interesting.
You know?
Let's bring you to a really cheap restaurant to see how she reacts.
I try.
I never do dinner. I never do.
I take her to
food.
Crown Fried Chicken, and
Once she's okay with that, then I say, just kidding, this is a setup, and we go.
I heard Bill Cosby used to do that. He used to dress poor, and then
That's all he did?
Well, don't talk about dad like that. Fuck. A couple other celebrities. Red Fox, I think, used to do that. He's dead. So you can't talk about him. You just dress poor and then date girls and
Oh, yeah.
from the time.
It's hilarious.
That's what I like that level. And then have the Lamborghini out
Right.
in the back.
It's smart though, because
Strategy.
yeah, if
I
they're,
don't give a fuck.
if they're still cool with you, then like you know, and then you bring the toys out, and you're like, all right,
Yeah.
that makes them stay.
She go, I
I
feel
never
like
had the gold digger issue, so I never
Yeah.
hid anything about myself.
never either.
And it still wasn't working. So,
It's cool, right? No, I feel that.
well,
And you got money.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
There you
You the only one that knows that problem.
I don't though. I tried to draw in gold diggers just out of pure loneliness.
Just,
and it
just
still
dropping
worked,
off
you know.
$100 bills.
So how much money do you make a year? Go.
I make a fuck ton. That's
How many zeros?
a lot of zeros. And that's only working half the year. You know?
He was like,
I'm gonna start twitching. Balls here on the floor.
I mean, it was a
That's
long
so
time
good.
coming though. It took me 31 years to get there.
but you got
But I got there. So, yeah,
Fuck.
feels good. Because I knew as a poor kid, I was like, I don't want the stench of secondhand garage sale clothes ever again. What do I do? And that was like my driving force.
Fuck.
But now I'm on the other end. It's like no one cares.
Once you get there, that's the scary part. Once you get there, it's like, no way.
Yeah.
Don't give a shit. Only you
It's like-
care. That was your problem
Right.
that you drag around like.
Like, look what I accomplished. I was like, what the fuck is this guy? You know? Because they don't see, especially you guys. Like, you guys just met me now.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't see the struggle.
you know,
Where do you
so-
get like your work ethic from like your parents or whatnot?
Yeah, pretty much. And also, I think I'm probably on the spectrum. I think because I'm reminding myself of things I used to do as a kid. Like I would go to the bathroom in first grade and just like start screeching if I saw a kid under the bathroom stall, and then the teacher would come and drag me by the ear out.
Get into the bathroom. Oh, in the
Just using the stall. And I
Oh,
would just
okay.
start shrieking.
I was gonna say if he's underneath you, I would screech too. Taking a peek.
No, I'm just being goofy, and I'm like picturing the current generation. Like, dude, there's no way I wouldn't be put on pills, like given the current climate of like ADHD.
Right.
and all that
They didn't
kind
know
of
shit
stuff,
about
so, yeah.
They put me on a shitload of pills. And I think if they had it, I probably would be, no joke, like more successful. They put me on like Adderall, and they put me on like all these Neurontin because like I was like overactive. I couldn't sit in a chair,
Right.
which is why probably I related to like working out and bodybuilding and sports like that because like that's constantly moving and stuff like that. Being in a class, being able to focus, fuck that.
See, I could focus. Like people tell me all the time, like, dude. For example, people will give me the simplest task in
Yeah.
my head, and I'll do it. It's like, oh, okay, is that really all you want me to do? I'll do it, and they're like, holy shit, man, that was awesome. You fucking did what I asked you to do. And it started to dawn on me once I started to have to give other people instructions and they wouldn't do exactly what I asked them to do, which in my head was so simple.
Yeah.
And it dawned on me like, oh, I guess I have this special talent to like follow directions.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's weird. But,
I think everyone is just very stupid. You can just, I mean, you're smart.
Most
That's it.
Yeah,
You're
you're
just
smarter than most people.
You're smart and
yeah, I never put that together until very
I was
recently.
faster than most people, so we don't have the talent. I just ran straight ahead, fast as shit, no hand-eye coordination. I couldn't catch a ball.
Did you look at it the flip side of that? You're just shit at explaining stuff to these people.
It's possible. It's possible. Because if it's so simple in my head, I could be like, hey, go do X.
Yeah,
You know, it's very possible. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've heard it enough times now where it's like, if I followed, like medical training is a perfect example. Because you start off at the lower end of the totem pole. They tell you what to do and you just do it. They don't expect you to make decisions for yourself. And I was doing everything they asked me to do. And then every week, month, quarter, whatever, like, dude, you really got this down. I'm like, I literally just did what you told me. And then I rose up in the totem pole, and then I started giving the youngins things to do, and then I'm like putting out all these fires because they just can't handle it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so weird. And they all did better on me in the exams. Granted, I didn't study.
I used to think I was like you, like yeah, I'm just not going to study. I'll do great. I did so bad, and then I studied and I did so bad. I was like, I'm not smart.
I didn't study. I knew I was going to do bad. I was like, this is going to be bad. I don't know how bad it's going to be, but
If either way it's going to go bad, let's just take the studying out of it.
Fuck.
Yeah.
I definitely don't respect academia as much as I used to. Because that was all I was raised with. It was like, oh, you do well in school, you're going to succeed.
Right.
Dude, there was no. I didn't know that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Nobody knew what that was.
Yeah, because no one would teach
Yeah,
you.
it was like you do this.
You're gonna go to
just
your
so you
guidance
learn how to do
counselor. Your
that.
guidance counselor.
They didn't have a business plan for anything I wanted to do.
Right.
You know.
It is amazing when I go to an open mic though, and I barely graduated high school, and then someone who has like 3 degrees sitting right next to me. Like, we end up in the same place.
It's true, man. And I'll tell you, I've met. So I'm an MD, just straight up, just doctor. Right?
Okay.
But there are special doctors that do an MD, PhD. So you think, oh shit, they did all this extra learning and education, and they are super brilliant. But in practice, like in real time medicine, every MD, PhD I've ever worked with sucks ass.
Is that right?
They're so bad. Just
like how so?
just like they get overwhelmed by like an extra task instead of like, do XYZ, check this lab, check this x-ray, and then do this based on the results, and they'll freak out. Just like the most craziest shit I've ever seen. But like it's all a mentality thing. It's like some entrepreneurial spirits are built to handle this. Like I can't handle certain things that other people could, but I could fill out bubbles on an exam sheet, or I can handle patients. Like I can put pieces together and be like, okay, that's what's wrong. This is what we gotta do, and then just but just their brains just work very differently. Regardless of what you think. So that's another thing I appreciate. Is like it doesn't matter the education. Everyone like has an intellect for something different.
Did you build like models as a kid, like? Nah, like, but overnight, like you would even take model kids and make a new.
No,
So on that level, you weren't okay.
I was just a big goofy fucking retard. Just like said dumb shit and.
Yeah, but you clearly weren't. Like you played that, but you are very smart. Mind downplaying
You
it.
got something.
I can. See, I hate that word smart because smart implies like you have this.
You have like a medical degree or something?
Smart means like you save lives.
You have to realize how many
Specialist?
idiot doctors I've met where like even just their charting, I read it and I'm like, how the fuck did you go to medical school? It's like it makes no sense. So I don't know.
And it's not only that, but it's like intelligence is very different from having a capacity to like remember things.
Right.
You know what I mean?
True. Right.
So it's like everything is in the textbook. You know what I mean? So if you write it all out, then you can remember it and you can regurgitate it on the test, and then you're a doctor.
Right. But
You
then
don't have
when
to
it
be
comes to like actually putting out problems in the real world,
Exactly.
it's like,
Yeah.
where's the multiple choice?
And there's even doctors, you hear about this all the time, where it's like people will go into a doctor with a problem, and the doctor will be like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with you, and then they have to go to like 6 different doctors to finally find out.
A lot of them are.
Well, it's dumb is when I go to a doctor, I'm telling him what to look for and do, and he's got these degrees, and I'm telling him which blood work to run and stuff like that. most of them, they don't want to hear from you. Like they want to show how smart they are rather than try to solve the fucking problem.
That's what I've noticed. A lot of them have an ego issue because they don't know anything else. Like their whole identity, kind of like a recording artist or any kind of artist. Like if you challenge them or if you like downgrade them or tell them they're not funny as a comic or tell them their music is shit, their whole world crumbles because they have nothing else. Their entire existence in this world is like, this is what I was put on this earth to do, and people are telling me it's not good. For a doctor, certain doctors, like I do comedy, I do like other stuff. So I don't attach myself just to being a doctor.
Right.
I don't identify. I kind of hate being called doctor, you know. And but other people are like, nah. I mean, this is who I am. I got this God complex, and don't challenge me. You don't know shit. You're not a doctor. Fuck you. I know better than you.
Right.
I'm not even listening.
open mind.
And it's a very dangerous mentality because you do miss things.
Yeah, of course. And you're not listening to the patient. You know, sometimes there's subtle things they're gonna be saying.
Exactly.
You're just gonna be like, nah, don't worry about it. I got this. You know, that's the flu.
I'm never going. That's why I work out. I've never said, hey, this feels wrong. Maybe I should go get it checked out. I've never done that.
But then there's people on the other end of the spectrum.
you're the
like
opposite
the
man.
littlest thing.
That's
Like every day, like, see, I gotta go to the hospital. I was like, and those people fasting, like how, I don't want to say weak, but I was like, the only time I've been to I don't want to bring it, but I would have to be broken, and somebody else has to take me. That's like, no, you need to go. You're fucking your ass is you're there's something hanging out of your asshole. You gotta go to the doctor. Like,
Your legs are like right by your side.
yeah,
You know?
there can be something hanging out of the string, and I'm just dragging it along. I'm like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah, I can't tell you. Some people, you're just
A
like.
lot of hypochondriacs.
I get both ends of the spectrum. People are
okay.
like, why the fuck did you wait till now? 'Cause I can't tell you how many wounds and ulcers I've seen filled with live maggots. Just,
Oh my god.
just like,
That's
and they
terrifying.
just wait.
I'm not checking it. What?
They're like, it'll go away. I'm
Everything. I
like,
was like, well, we better pray this away. I don't know who's gonna fix this. Like, oh, shit.
The psychology between both is like fascinating. It's like the people who wait that long, it's like their legs swelling up, it's double the size. Like, what the fuck do you think is gonna happen?
Yeah.
But then on the other spectrum, like people who nothing interesting has ever happened in their entire life, but they think that they win the lottery and they're gonna get the heart attack. You know?
well, there's also, it's actually there's a certain psychiatric condition where, whether it's based out of loneliness or whatever whatever trauma they're dealing with, certain people will come to the hospital, find out that they get taken care of there,
Oh, right.
and then they're like, I can never leave here. I need to come up with excuses to be sick, or they'll self-inflict wounds to have an excuse to come back to the hospital.
Oh, really?
They
Oh, shit.
need that human interaction and that connection to caring individuals because they don't have that outside of the hospital.
It's a fucking waste of time. Fucking burdens. Honestly, like the people who are really sick and you're just wasting someone's time.
That's what it is.
They can afford it too.
Exactly, right.
A lot of times they can't. But like, what are you gonna do? Like, sue them? Like, they don't have any money.
I'll just leave, right?
Medicare patients.
Send them a check. You know?
Yeah. It's crazy.
We gotta wrap this up. Any questions? You guys?
Okay.
Yeah.
If a wound is to a point where you got live maggots inside of it, are you gonna have to amputate? Like, what's
Not necessarily amputate, but it will probably require an operation to debride and a lot of antibiotics and shit. Luckily, I'm not a wound specialist. I don't deal with that heavily, thank God. But yeah, man, it's
Jesus.
God damn.
and the odor. Holy fuck.
Wow.
Oh.
Tom.
Besides here, of course, where is your favorite open mics for both of you?
This is by far my favorite. Oh, besides here,
Sorry. Not shouting out other shit. Is that what we're doing? No, let him burn.
does Iowa count? Because I've had a great time with it.
Oh, nice.
I work in Iowa. That's where I started stand-up,
Oh,
and they have pretty good crowds.
where? Des Moines?
No, in Iowa City, and
We do comic strip live.
Open mic.
You have an open mic, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gladys runs it there.
Gladys,
Yeah.
Gladys.
I'll tell you why. I mean, she gets a lot of shit, but the truth is, she's a very warm person, and it's a good place, especially if you're starting off. You get a lot of support, and it's different. I mean, the audience is different. They're a little bit older, so you're getting kind of like it's cleaner stuff that I work on there. But it's important too because I think it's too easy to gravitate towards the dirty stuff just to get a cheap laugh, and there it's just like a bit of a challenge to like make it a little more elevated. So, but
comic strip.
comic strip live, yeah, I recommend it. But here I could be complete degenerate. So. It works.
You ever get any late night texts from Gladys?
Oh, I get phone calls, but
Oh, boy.
Oh yeah, we'll keep that off the podcast. those are private for. Well, now I'm upset because I thought it was just me, but she's fucking now she's cheating on me.
You're not the only one.
This is the last time, by the way, I'm gonna be on that mic. I'm just gonna listen to this and like.
Fuck. This podcast ruins careers.
Yeah. Hopefully it starts some. I mean, jeez.
Hey,
I don't know about that.
we gotta get you to 30K, baby.
30K, that's the goal. I'll give up for them. Tell them where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at Jordan Rosengarten. ROSENGARTEN, not D, motherfuckers.
Sadra Azizi, you can find me Dr. Souls 11 SOLES Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah, it's another episode of People's Mic. You can find it on iHeartRadio, Spotify, JimPeoples.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, J Peoples TV. We're here every day, Monday to Friday at 2:15 for the podcast, followed by the world famous People's Mic. World famous? They know about it in Pakistan. So every day, Monday to Friday at 3 o'clock. Check us out on Alexa. This is episode 278. And we'll be back tomorrow. Cool? Thank you.